Hey guys, Austin with Lock Guys here, coming at you with a long educational video. So we're going to rekey a lock today. Show you what tools we use and the process we go through, and kind of show you how to do it. So let's go for it. So let's say you've got a renter. You're a landlord and you've got a renter. Now you've got this lock. You got a key that works it, but you got another key that you want it to work, or you want a master key system. So here you got the key that works, and she's spinning. So I have another key here that I've cut just for this video. Does not work. I want this key to work. So what I'm gonna do, right here is a little hole. Behind that hole is a button. You normally, on a schleg, not necessarily on a quick set, but on a schleg, 95% of the time we have to have the key, the actual key chamber turned. Take a little poker that comes with every doorknob you ever buy. Comes with one of these. Different shapes and sizes, but it is what it is. It's a poker. Insert it into that hole with that chamber turned, and if you do it correctly, it pops right off. And you can't really see it here, but if you look down inside, you can see the hole. You can see the button inside there that we depress that locks this onto the shaft. So now got that out. Got to disassemble the actual doorknob part, and did not come prepared. Luckily there is a screwdriver here. Now you got to take your time, because sometimes they're fragile and they are a pain, and sometimes you get a bent screwdriver and can't get it out quite right. But if you get your screwdriver in there, or something flat and thin, you can work it out. Just take your time. Do not hurt yourself. And don't hurt the lock, please. That just pops right out of there. And then we drop it on the floor. And that houses your key and knob cylinder. That's your lock cylinder right there. Comes out just like that. Now, on this particular one, it has a retainer. We just use we've got a little special tool. Looks like a horseshoe. And it's just a spring retainer. It's just a metal clip. We use I use a screwdriver. So what we'll do is you take the screwdriver and you just push on the edge here. Careful not to stab yourself. Careful not to push it too far, because they will go flying. Okay, this is the tool we use. This is actually a multiple use tool. This will, oops, it's upside down here. This will tell you the make of whatever key or lock it is. It'll tell you what cut depth it is. And it doubles as our retainer clip removal tool, pin pusher, whatever you want to call it. But we use the little horseshoe part here. At least that's what I call it. And we get it around the edge, or just to push on the edge of it. And if you're smarter than the lock, you're able to actually get it off of it. There we go. So that's what it looks like once it's removed. Don't lose it. That's what holds the chamber inside. Now you need a follower. Follower does is exactly what we call it. It follows the chamber, or follows the cylinder through the chamber. So, and what that does is it keeps all the pins up in this top here. Those are called our top pins or master pins. It keeps them from falling out and shooting all over the place because there's pins and springs right up in here. So the follower is needed in order to rekey a lock. So what you do is you take your key that you have that works now, and you can spin it. Careful, the retainer's off. If you pull this, I'll show you. You can see it starts to come out. Now, if you do not have a follower, you will shoot all of your pins and springs everywhere, and you will have a wonderful day crawling around the floor finding them. So you take your follower, you slide it over, slide your housing over, just like that. And now you have removed the cylinder from the chamber. If you see all the pins there, all those little brass pins, they're even with what we call the shear line. That's what it's called, the shear line. When they're even like that, that's what allows it to turn. That means the key in it is the correct key. So when I pull the key out, they'll drop. You can see some of them are inside. So the top pins will drop inside of those chambers. Sorry for the focus here. So the top pins that I just showed you earlier will drop into these chambers. And that's what keeps this from turning. So what we're going to do is we're going to keep this key working. This is our master key. This is our user key. We'll call it apartment A. So Billy Bob here is going to rent apartment A. I insert this key, and as you can tell, one of these is not quite right. Now I cut this with only one pin off on purpose, just for the purposes of this video. So anybody who knows what they're looking at, don't come at me, please. This is just for demonstrational purposes, but you can see this first chamber it's not even with the top of the shear line. Therefore, it will not work. And that's all it takes, is that tiny little bit. That key will not turn it. You'll snap that head off if you try. So, I've already done the math, so I know which pin to put in here. But we have a chart here with all of our makes and what locks they are, and it tells you what cut depths are and what corresponding pin goes into that cut. So we've got a number 2 on a Schlage. We need a number 2 master pin, which is a 30,000th. Very small. I'll show you. It is tiny. You can see that little thing. But that's all it takes to keep a lock from working. So we put that into our first chamber. And then we'll take our follower. We'll slide that follower back, slide that chamber back over the cylinder. Now, I don't know if you heard it, but there was a little click. Here's our original key. It still works. Now here's our user key. This is Billy Bob in apartment A. It works. So what that did was that master pin filled that void to make that cut work. So now let's say Bob moves out, takes his keys. Uh-oh, landlord. Landlord's got a lock that now some doo-doo doesn't live there anymore. He's got a key that works his lock. Well, he just got to come see us lock guys, and we'll fix that for him. So he'll take his master key, and I'll insert it and turn it. And then I will use a different follower for this procedure. This follower, as you can tell, is a little bit different. It's got a flat spot there. That's for dropping master pins. So I will use this, and we'll just do the same thing. Slide it straight over like that. And as you can see, you'll see all my pins are lined up. And that's because the master pin is still in this top chamber here. Because that pin's no longer in here because it pushed it up into this top chamber. So that's where the flat spot comes in. So we come in here and we will slide it over, and if I can get a good angle here, spin it. And I don't know if you saw it, but there it is. There's that master pin. That drop. That's what that's for. So then you just spin it back onto the round part. We'll slide it over here. And we will put this key back together, or put the lock back together, rather. Slide that back over. Okay, and that's our master key. Still works. Now remember Billy Bob from Apartment A, our key? It worked the last time we saw it. Does not work. Cannot turn it. You will snap that key right off. And you saw, remember how tiny that little piece was. That's all it takes to inhibit a lock. That's all it takes. So, now, showed you how to rekey that lock. Now we'll go through some of the tools that we went through. All the types of followers that we have. So we have different types of followers. So I know you've probably noticed the little hatch marks on the ends of these followers. Looks like the little channel on the ends of them. That's for dropping your top pins. So what you would do is once you pulled the cylinder out, we would pull this out and line that H piece up, the little channel up, just like that, inside the plug. And through here, they'll shoot top pins out one at a time. Then we can change them, or if we need to put smaller top pins in for a different master key system, we can go through a different video later date for that. Then we've already gone through the flat spot for removing the master pins. We have hollow ones. I want to know why do you got hollow ones? Okay, well, we have locks here that, this one's not too terribly long, but we'll have some that have a long tail piece that's not removable, that's actually fixed to the core, or to the cylinder. And you'll need to actually slide that inside of there, and then slide this chamber out. So, all different sizes, all different shapes. I think that's about it. We've gone through everything there is to do about rekeying a lock. We'll come at you with another video soon. Thanks for watching, guys.